So today we've got Scott with us. Scott is very successful in the media industry. Can you tell us what job it is you do, Scott?
I'm now doing editing for film and TV companies.
Marvellous. And on a day-to-day basis, Scott, what kind of tasks do you undertake in that job?
Well, it involves a lot of rearranging the different scenes in the films and television shows, and also linking a lot of the sound to the visual clips, making sure the speech links with the movement, and also making sure that music and volumes aren't too loud, and the general film or show flows together and runs smoothly.
So a lot of fine detail work in there.
Yeah, it would mostly be specific tasks set by a director or producer, and occasionally thinking on my feet and doing whatever I would think would be necessary.
All right. So most of the time, your part of the job is somebody has told you exactly what they want,
and then that would mostly be told what I would need to do, and I would interpret the right way to do whatever.
All right. So there is some room for creativity.
There is some room for creative, but mostly it would be specific tasks.
Right. Okay. Do you need specific training then to do the job that you do?
It's not essential to gain training, although the film and television freelance training does provide recognised training for all job roles. But in editing, it does provide apprenticeships, which is a lot of on-the-job training, and as part of the apprenticeship I did, included a lot of runner's responsibilities, making ham and cheese sandwiches and things like that. But it's not essential to do that.
Right. Okay. So, but do you work with particular software or anything? And
there is a lot of knowledge and skills required with technical post-production process. The computers, we're getting more and more advanced, so training is becoming more important, but it's not necessarily a recognised qualification that's needed.
Right. So are you just expected to have those skills when you take up the post?
It's more knowledge to do with technology rather than a specific qualification.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. What would you say that your most important responsibilities are?
Most important responsibilities would probably be just generally making sure the show or film runs smoothly, and making sure that all the assistants and editors below me would be doing what they needed to do, and making sure that they gain experience and then can go on and do it themselves some other time for another company.
Okay. So so you'd see training people.
There is training people as well. There are assistants and trainees, second assistants that would work beneath me.
Right.
They would do a part of the work as well.
So you've got team leader responsibilities then as well.
Yes.
And can you tell us something about an interesting problem that you've come across in your line of work?
Editing isn't the most interesting for problems. It's pretty much there are a lot of general problems that would all be pretty similar. But in my experience, editing films wrong and having to go back and redo them when having to own up to them's the worst part of it, and realising it's your own fault, and then just having to think on the spot and redo it. But that's about as interesting as it gets for editing.
What are the consequences then if you did get something wrong and you left it in?
Well, it wouldn't be the worst thing that when they rewatched the editing, the whole team would usually spot the mistakes and be able to redo it.
All right. So your work is checked by
everyone would check it and redo it.
And just a couple of supplementary questions for you, Scott, just to annoy you really.
Okay.
Who do you work most closely with, do you think?
Which other job roles.
Which are the people?
Well, obviously the rest of the editing team, the assistants, the trainees, but it's mainly a lot of the post-production teams, the and well, the people involved in things like the lighting and the design work of the actual filming. So we need to make sure that the lighting and the sound is all as good as it can be before we start editing. And
so those fundamental processes have got to be in place first.
It helps the editing process if they're already in place.
So I suppose it's less for you to do, isn't it, in the final product? And have you got any idea about how much you? Can you give people an idea about how much you might get paid, or what kind of contracts you might work on?
There's no specific wage. It does depend on how much work you do. It ranges from around, depending on the size of the company and the films that you work for. The lower paid TV work will be around 18,000 to 30,000 a year. But I'm unsure on the higher paid ones. It does range from the contracts
and it depends on the
on the size of the film and the budget of the film.
So it'd be a Hollywood blockbuster, you would expect to earn more than perhaps a... Okay. Right.